welcome to a redo of the series. We're going to redo episodes 8 and 9 real quick because I lost the video. I don't know what happened to it. Something got lost in a transfer, got lost in my computer somewhere, but I can't find them. So, usually we go over The Simpsons, correct?
Yes.
We will not be going over them. It's season 1 Simpsons, so we all know they're mediocre to okay. The ones we watched were Telltale Head, where Bart steals the head of the statue of Jebediah Springfield. And I don't have the name for the other one. But, you know, it's season 1 Simpsons. They were both okay.
Yeah.
Nothing great, nothing to write home about, but they're both okay. Okay, so let's get into Mando. So this would be season 1 finale, and then into season 2, episode 1. So let's just talk about them. Oh, this is Christopher.
Hello.
Say hi again.
Yeah.
Steve, for any new people. So let's dive into the season ending and season opener for Mando. Why don't you start since you're the Star Wars?
I liked it. Or should I recap it first?
Do a quick recap.
They're stuck in the first town where they enter. Moff Gideon has a gunpoint. They get out somehow.
Through the sewers.
Through the sewers.
IG sacrifices himself.
Yeah. They fight Moff Gideon, or Mando fights Moff Gideon. He crashes his TIE fighter thinking he died. He comes out with the Darksaber in the end.
Yeah. And the head of their Mandalorian clan gives Mando the task of finding Baby Yoda.
And
we're not going to say his name yet because we don't know yet. The child to the Jedi, which were their sworn enemies.
Mando and the child are their own clan now. They're the Mudhorn
right.
clan.
Yeah.
Mudhorn.
So, yeah, I mean, I have some notes. Chris didn't save his, which I don't expect him to. The two so this is one of the two stormtroopers and trying to shoot like a rock and stuff. So they're played by Adam Paley, who you might know from Happy Endings, and Jason Sudeikis from SNL, and now he's on Ted Lasso. He is Ted Lasso, so very funny in between about that. He's like, "Let me see it," and they don't punch it. It's
they both start punching the baby.
Yeah, it's very funny. IG, like we said, sacrifices himself for that. The look of the child when he's riding the bike is very cute and very cool. We also learn that the Force takes out a lot from the child. Kind of like wears him out.
Where he passes out.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And this is where Mando earns his jetpack too.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Yes, I have. And like you said, a black lightsaber.
Yeah, Darksaber.
Darksaber,
it's, if I'm correct, the first lightsaber of the Mandalorian, and whoever owns the Darksaber is the ruler of Mandalore.
Right, which
so technically, since where this takes place, we don't know how, but he gets it from...
We don't know where he gets it from.
No, we do.
Not in this one, we know.
Well, we would assume... At this point, we would assume where he gets it from. Yeah, because in Clone Wars, she has it at the end of Clone Wars.
Yeah, but we don't know she's coming yet. We're jumping ahead. So we're going to talk about this episode only, nothing before, after, I mean. So at this point, we don't know where he gets it from.
Yeah.
And then it ends just with Mando and the child looking for some Jedi.
Speeder bikes have arrived at the checkpoint with the asset waiting confirmation. Knock it off. Waiting for confirmation to continue into town.
That's a go to proceed, but I advise you to double check. The Moff just touched down and already took out a squad of local troopers.
Standing by. Did he just say that Gideon killed his own men? Oh, who knows? These guys like to lay down the law when they first arrive in a town, you know. You know how it is. I said, shut up. Eesh. What is that thing, anyway? I don't know. Maybe Moff wants to eat it. I don't ask questions. Can I see it? Did you not just hear that Moff Gideon killed a dozen of his own troopers just to make a point? Okay, I get that point. Do you get the point?
Yes, I get the point.
Okay.
Some Jedi. Then let's roll into season 2, episode 1.
He goes to the lady in the first season, the mechanic lady on Tatooine, because his ship is destroyed from the end of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to explore. He finds a town with a sheriff who has Boba Fett's armor. They have to team up with the Tusken Raiders, fight a huge not a mudhorn.
No, it's like a worm. I forget what they call it. It's a big. If you ever seen Dune or Tremors, it's like one of those big worm things, or Beetlejuice with the Mars worms or whatever.
To get the pearl for the Tusken Raiders, and then to make a deal with the sheriff,
to get the bounty hunter.
He gives Mando Boba Fett's armor back, and then the end is just Boba Fett watching them as they leave.
Yeah.
Who, may I say, looks very good for his age.
Yeah, he's got a little weight, but, but he's just, scar-ridden. You can tell he's been through some stuff. It's a decent opener. For those people who like Deadwood, if you're listening to this, the bartender was also the bartender in Deadwood, and the sheriff is played by Timmy Oliphant. And he was in Deadwood as well, so there's that kind of connection, which is kind of cool.
And then we learn later on in the episode where that worm is buried or living is the Sarlacc pit, where Boba Fett was thrown into, but the worm killed the Sarlacc, which is apparently the Sarlacc's one of the hardest creatures to kill apparently, and he did it. So
it's a fun action episode. Moves his plot along really well. And sets up kind of the series, this quest.
Finally see more of the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
After Anakin slaughtered them all in the prequels.
It's a good episode. Solid opening. I think I gave it a 4.
I think I did too.
And
season finale is a 4.5.
I give it a 4. Good.
I
Okay.
think we're ready. Move on.
So we're kind of going through this quick because we got 2 things in season 2, and we didn't rewatch this stuff, to be honest with you.
Well,
but
I remember it. So.
Yeah, I remember it too. So then the other 2 Pixar movies we watched were Ratatouille first.
Yep.
And then Wall-E. So I got some notes on Ratatouille here.
The basic outline is it's a rat colony. One of them has a chef's nose. He gets flushed to Paris. He meets a guy. He starts controlling him to work for one of the big head chefs. We find out later he's the chef's son, and then he owns the thing, and he makes the critic be like, ooh, like food again. And then, that's kind of basically it.
And instead of writing the review and being honest, he just kind of retires.
Yeah.
And helps them open up a smaller restaurant.
But then they get shut down because of the
Because of rat problem, because they have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But then they open up a small restaurant.
And the rat kitchen above it that people don't know about.
Right. And Remy is helping in the kitchen as well, still at this point. I forgot how good this was. It really kind of almost blew my mind how the animation is such a step up, even from what was the Cars we just saw before this.
So, yeah.
I mean, even from Cars, it's a huge step up with the textures of the food and the fur and the rats, and just so minute details. It's just so beautiful. Paris looks gorgeous. They do a really, really great job. This is directed by Brad Bird, who also directed The Incredibles, Tomorrowland, one of the Mission Impossibles. I forget which one. I think it's 4, I want to say. I forget which one it was.
What? I don't know. Oh, I'd like to point out the critic's mother is the lady in the beginning who tries to kill the rats with a shotgun.
Oh, is it?
Because when they flash back, it's the same house when he's a child. It's the same house. So, kind of connecting dots there.
I did not know that. I really didn't. Budget was $150 million. Did you just look at it?
I did.
Well, okay.
Like
It earned $620 million, so definitely a success. We have Patton Oswalt playing Remy, Ian Holm as Chef Skinner, Lou Romano as Alfredo, Janine Garofalo as Colette, Brad Garrett, Peter O'Toole as the as Ego, the
head chef.
the critic Ego.
Yeah.
Brian Dennehy as Django, which is Remy's father, the leader of the pack. And Will Arnett was one of the kitchens, one of the sous chefs as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so running down some of my notes. Rats hanging in the window was scary and gross. That was a really shocking image, kind of.
I like the scene where they're first learning how that like hair pulling like cooking works in the kitchen. He's flopping all around his house trying to cook stuff.
There's also a funny scene where Remy's kind of running through Paris, and he's going over like a couple fighting, and he has a gun. Like they're like, you, and the lady says, "You don't have." I wrote it down here. You don't have the guts to shoot me. And then you see this Remy kind of run back and run like away from it and run back to see kind of what happens. And they're kissing and embracing each other and smooching, and Remy just kind of rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
Which is very, very funny beat.
You don't have no guts.
The dishwasher to wash the rats and the restaurant scene was brilliant. I mean, that's just awesome how they all kind of wash their hands through that.
Team 3 will be handling fish.
That.
Team 4.
Opening weekend, this opened in almost 4,000 theaters. Debuted number 1 with $47 million. This is the lowest Pixar opening since Bug's Life. In France, though, it dethroned Titanic, which was spent the most consecutive weeks at the top of the box office. So I was in the movie theater, working in the movie theater at this point. Titanic, I want to say, came out like in December, like right before Christmas. That movie played in our biggest house for 3 months straight and almost sold out every time.
Oof.
So that's a big thing to throwing Titanic even in France.
Before I forget.
Yeah.
A113 and Pizza Planet truck. One of the rats is tagged on the ear. He has like a tag and it has A113 on it. And then the Pizza Planet truck is in when Skinner's chasing him through the streets of Paris, chasing Remy. It's in the background on the bridge.
Okay. This one Ratatouille won Best Picture Animated Feature for the 80th Academy Awards. And then Penelope Perslopus and Surf's Up was nominated for 4 others: Best Original Score, Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Original Screenplay.
I can see that.
So I forget what I put them. Do you have Letterboxd pulled up?
Oh, I can, yeah.
So what did you think? You haven't really talked about it.
I liked it. I remember watching this in school and stuff. I think I watched it in French class. We had to watch it in French, obviously. But I liked it. I didn't rate it. It's about a 3.5 for me, I would say. It's between 3.5 and a 4.
Can you look at mine? I know I rated it and put it. You should rate it and put it too. Not now, but
Ratatouille.
later.
How do you spell Ratatouille?
R-A-T.
R-A-T-A-T. Let's go to
R-A-T-A-T. It should come up.
Ratatouille. You gave it a 4.5.
Do you see, where's it on my list?
Oh. Likes. Lists. Pixar films. Third.
Okay. Yeah. I really liked it. I forgot how much I liked it, to be honest with you. It's kind of almost a forgotten one. And we should mention now that the Ratatouille ride in Epcot Paris I believe it's in soft openings are open at this point as we record. It's just a clone of the one in France.
Yeah.
But it looks amazing, and I can't wait to ride it when we get to go back. Okay, let's talk about the other Pixar movie we watched.
Wall-E.
Wall-E.
Name? Wall-E. 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 Eve. Eve. Eve.
Do you want to give a quick rundown of Wall-E?
The planet is deserted and Wall-E's the last trash robot left. Eve comes down to scan for life. They end up... She has to go back up, but he ends up clinging onto the rocket, I think.
Yeah, because he falls in love with her.
Yeah.
You missed out some key parts. Eve comes down and he follows her around and starts to fall in love with her.
Yeah.
Shows her his like house where he lives and stuff. Rocket comes back. She goes up. Because Wall-E has a plant inside him. So she shuts down. Yeah. So she shuts down. Goes back up. He's worried about her. The captain of the Exium thinks he's the captain, but it's really the autopilot.
Yeah.
And a broadcast told all the ships not to go back to Earth because it's totally barren and just stay out in space, basically.
Yeah.
So the captain kind of takes back the ship and goes and tries to go back to Earth with the by putting the plant in the little chute that gets it back to Earth.
Yeah.
So Wall-E, Wall-E, directed by Andrew Stanton, sorry. For the most part, a silent film, really.
Yeah. They're like halfway through about.
The big names is probably Jeff Garlin as the captain. You know him from the Goldbergs, the father of the Goldbergs. Mm-hmm. If you watch Curb, he's the friend of Larry David in Curb. And then Fred Willard, rest in peace. He is the president of the United States in the live action, like little short things. Then of course you have John Ratzenberger as one of the guys in the floaty chairs because we're all too fat to walk, which is kind of scary because that's where we're heading toward.
I would like to point out there is a little robot, and we get a little glimpse of it in the ship. And then they made a short out of it, and that short is definitely worth watching because it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's called Bernie, I think.
Bernie, yeah. Yeah, the short is very funny. I had never seen it, so when we watched it, I was very happy that we watched it. It's very, very good.
I would like to point out the A113 is on the screen after the president gives his speech. Mm. And then the Pizza Planet truck is when Eve is scanning. She scans the engine of an empty Pizza Planet truck.
The voice of the computer on the Exium is Sigourney Weaver. The great Sigourney Weaver. You always have to say that.
It reminded me of Gladys.
From
Portal.
Yeah.
I think
some people might not know. No, I think she's 1 and 2.
I think she's in both, maybe.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's in 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Budget for this was $180 million. Do you know what the box office is?
Well, the Ratatouille was $620. I know this was very big. I want to say like $800 million.
Box office was $533 million total. Do you remember?
That seems like a bomb.
Small intimate story for Christopher and I when he was a tiny, tiny guy. Do you remember going to see this with me at where I used to work?
No, I remember watching it at home though.
So I took Chris. I think this was one of the first ones I took him to actually see. Sat through the whole thing. Oh, we should talk about Presto in front of this, which is very funny. The cat.
Oh yeah.
The rabbit magic hat. Oh my god, it's really good. I think it's probably my favorite short. For the Pixar shorts. I forget what the other one was, but if I forget about it, then it must not have been.
Oh, maybe it might have been the one-man band thing.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't remember. Was bad. Anyway, so it was very busy, obviously. It was my day off, but if I saw a movie and it was busy, I would help clean up. Christopher took it upon himself to go in and clean up he went through and picked up all the big stuff and helped and everything. It was so freaking cute. Anyway, This film is, even from Ratatouille, this film is gorgeous. I mean, the animation gets better and better, but this is... this is 4K amazing. It's so well done. Like, I can't explain it better than it is a gorgeous looking film. Kind of like how the backstory is told through like visuals and extra ads, and you see the ads still playing on the billboards and stuff on Earth. I love so Wall-E's a collector as well. So when he's looking through, when he's doing the trash, he gets things that interest him, and he picks up a spork, and he tries to, when he goes back to his house, he has everything kind of, in his own place, and he has a collection for forks, and he has a collection for spoons, and then he just puts the spork in the middle. So freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Love how they interact. As I said, he thinks she needs power, so he brings her up to the sun because that's how he gets his power. He's very caring. Mo is great, as we said. That's the little cleaning robot dude. The space scenes are beautiful. I like the pauses in the ads when the president is like saying, "Oh, blah 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 blah." There's a pause, and it's like to the captain of pause Axiom, and then he just goes on. I like that little touch. Like he had to do it for like a lot of other ships. Yeah. So he just said that one line and it said each ship's name. I like that touch. It's a very small but like detailed world building touch.
I like the scene where the captain's supposed to give like the morning announcements, and they can control if it's day or night. So he wakes up late, so he changes it to like early morning, and everything closes and goes back to like in the morning, and so he can give his morning announcements.
Yeah,
He's like, it's the one thing I get to do every day.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Mechanical systems
Unchanged.
reactor core temperature
Unchanged.
passenger count
Unchanged.
regenerative food buffet
Unchanged.
jacuzzi pH balance
Unchanged.
atmospheric conditions laundry service volume
Unchanged.
Okay, Otto.
Sir, the annual return is
12:30? Otto, why didn't you wake me for morning announcements? Honestly, it's the one thing I get to do on this ship. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 255,642 aboard the Axiom. As always, weather's a balmy 72 degrees and sunny, and oh, hey, I see the ship's log is showing that today is our 700th anniversary of our 5-year cruise. Well, I'm sure our forefathers would be proud to know that 700 years later we'd be doing the exact same thing they were doing. So, be sure next mealtime to ask for your free Septuacentennial cupcake in a cup. Wow, look at that. Also today we have a... Hey, Otto, what's that flashing button?
It's a great film. I love the closing song from Peter Gabriel, Down to Earth. It's a beautiful song, and the credits kind of show them rebuilding, growing, and like the seeds growing. It's a beautiful end credit scene and a beautiful song by Peter Gabriel. This was nominated for Best Original Song at the Golden Globes, and Best Original Song at the 81st Academy Awards. It lost to Bruce Springsteen's The Wrestler from The Wrestler.
I would like to point out, I like the scene where it connects with that. There's a scene where he goes out in space with like a fire extinguisher, and he's starting to get like pushed around. If you watch the Bernie short, there's times where he's stuck outside, and you can see like that scene from the movie playing in the background as it connects.
This is the fifth best opening weekend for a Pixar film, and the fourth best opening among films released in June at the time. Yeah, obviously that's changed. 2008. The American Film Institute, the AFI, named Wall-E as one of its best films in 2008. Rotten Tomatoes gave a reported 95% of critics, and then based on 259 reviews, with an average rating of 8.55. And I usually put Metacritic on here, but it doesn't look like I have it. This was on a bunch of people's also best film, like LA Times and some other critics. The favorite film included Tony Charity of CNN, Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune, Lisa Schwarzbaum of Entertainment Weekly, and A.O. Scott of the New York Times.
New York Times.
So, this is on... This belongs in the Library of Congress, one of those type of films. This is one of those films for me. So let's rate it. What are you doing?
I was just looking. We had it on Steelbook.
No, we do not. Why don't you give your rating?
4.5.
And
second on my list.
Second on your list?
And then Ratatouille is third.
Okay.
So I think my top 3 are Cars, Wall-E, and then Ratatouille.
I know I gave this a 5.
Yeah. I think
it's number 1. Yeah. This movie, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was at the time because me and your mother are just separated. And I love...
Thanks for the trauma.
I love... Yeah. So traumatized. What did you just get? An Oculus Rift? Mr. Trauma Boy? It's just a beautiful, non-spoken love story. And it just shows that love can happen between anyone, anywhere. It's just so beautiful.
Any species.
Well, they're not species. This is robots. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful film.
Yes, sir.
Any last?
Up and Partly Cloudy is next. Up is the movie Short, and then Short is the Partly Cloudy.
Yeah. And then we'll be on Mando episode 2 of season 2.
And back with Simpsons.
Yeah, we'll have the next Simpsons episode as well.
It'll be episode 10.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well,
because this is 8 and 9.
Yeah, so it'll be 10. Yeah, so we're in 10. Season 1, episode 10 for Simpsons, whichever that one may be.
We're getting close to picking a new show. Because
Mando, yeah. Maybe we'll review WandaVision, because by that time we'll be done.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about that.
By that time,
we'll know everything.
Soldier will probably be done too.
So we're on Twitter now, so follow us on Twitter.
I think you have it under the same brand, but plug the other side.
Instagram, not just another Disney pod. Facebook. We're getting a lot more interactions and people thanks to Twitter. So please share the post. Please like us. Please rate us in iTunes because it does help. Give us a thumbs up in the link. We really appreciate it.
The Twitter is not just another pod feed.
Yeah. Well, you get the point. We're just not another whatever it is. I am working on a website where both shows will be in one section. You guys can just go to one section instead of going through, going to YouTube and going to 2 different channels and stuff.
Spotify.
But please let us know, like us on Twitter. It's right. It's follow us on Twitter.
Turn on post notifications so you know every time he tweets and you can share it and like it right away.
And I'm actually kind of liking Twitter, and there will be no politics. It's just purely entertainment for Twitter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, please just keep the
we're not.
feed.
Yeah. Okay.
I share and repost everything too. So.
And it's between Geek and Disney.
So you'll get
both in that one feed.
Yeah.
I don't think we post anything outrageous on. I think it's safe to follow for Disney fans. Like if it's not, I don't think there's anything that's gonna really be upsetting. I don't want to upset anybody really.
Yeah. I don't know nothing. Everything we post on.
Listen, life is too short, and life feels like it drags and then it stops. So just live your life and be happy and love each other.
Live your life and follow our Twitter.
Yeah, live your life and follow our Twitter. And just be kind to other people. That's all we ask.
Drop your thoughts in the comments on the posts that we do.
And we hope you had a good New Year. And we hope this New Year you get vaccinated, we all get safe, and we all get back to normal. We can all go back to the parks. So as we say,
remember to have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.